So let's talk about the market, because that's what we like to do. So what we like to do here at this point, we're going to tell you about what's actually happening in Dallas County over the last 7 days, because we can't really take those large brushstrokes that we hear on the national news and apply those, to Dallas or to even a zip code. So what we're looking here is over the last 7 days, and again, let's take into consideration that we've had lots of holidays and lots of travel, and it is the slowest time of the year. We've had 32 houses that have come on the market. And then within the last 7 days, new active listings, and those could be a single family, a condo, a high rise. We've had 304. And then from that, going into an option period, meaning both the buyer and the seller have agreed to the sales price and the conditions aside from any repairs. And that has actually gone to 245 in the last 7 days.
And in the homes that actually went to a pending status, there were only 125 in Dallas County last week. There were 318 houses that sold and closed last week in MLS. And normally we compare this week over week, but since we'd been off for a couple of weeks, we didn't think that really made a lot of sense. But you'll see this slowing trend in the marketplace just because of the seasonality. And then once we get to the end of the year, we'll kind of do a year in review and show how this all shook out just over the course of the whole 365 days. Mortgage rates are down a bit. 6.36 is the 30-year conforming that we found at Optimal Blue. Optimal Blue is a website that monitors, they're not a lender, but they monitor lenders nationwide and kind of figure out what's that average market rate. I saw a really interesting thing that I wanted to add on to that today, that the spread between the Treasury yield and mortgage rates right now is about 3%, which is the largest spread that it has been since the Great Recession of 2007 and 8.
Really?
Meaning that mortgage companies are trying to eke out more profit by charging more than what, more, because they are they are going into a real slowdown in the mortgage industry.
Yep.
Because they depend upon those thousands and thousands of new mortgage generations every month, and they're not happening the way they were 6, 9, 12 months ago.
Well, the other thing too is I think it was a really interesting cycle that we just came out of is how many cash buyers we have.
Mm-hmm.
Just tons of cash, which is great. It's the exact opposite of 2008 and 9 when everybody's leveraged out of their mind, losing their houses.
Yeah.
So I'll take this any day of the week. One of the things that we want to point out is that when we talk about days on the market, we want to talk about how long it took it to get to closing. And if we look at the sold data, the actual average and the median, the average was 34 and the median was 18. So really, again, real estate is one of those really hypersensitive things that could be completely different from one side of the street to the next.
Yeah, and that I think in that instance of the days on market, just because of the way our MLS is not really accurate in how they report, the median makes a lot more sense to me there than that average does.
I would agree with that.
There, a lot of times an agent may put something in that is a build job that they don't start for 6 months, and then it doesn't close for 12 months after that, and all of a sudden you've got this one listing that's got a 725 days on market, and it just skews it all.
And on the other end of it, an agent puts it in the market, they've already got it under contract, so it goes zero.
Yeah.
So that's just interesting. One of the things we also want to point out is that we can actually set up what we call a portal for anybody. And we can actually do that based on what criteria you're actually looking to. So we can do it for a current home neighborhood that you live in, or if there's an investment property you want to look into, let us know. We can set these up. They're extremely helpful. And the data actually shows up in real time, not some of the other websites that actually lag and drag and
absolutely
have bad data.
Mm-hmm.